I did ask y'all if Raquel was the villain, right? Prior to the events of Raising Kanan season finale, I posed this question due to her emotional manipulation of her son to kill the only father he never knew. That act alone was a line in the sand, a pivotal juncture that elevated Rock from drug lord to all-out antagonist. Now seeing Rock's plan fully developed, the question we must now flesh out is this: what was her endgame? In today's video, I'll be dissecting this query in full and provide insight, analysis, and predictions on just where Rock's journey could be headed going into Season 2. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. Raising Kanan's first season was highlighted by two dynamics: a restless Kanan trying to get into the game, and an apprehensive Rock focusing on easing her son's ambitions slowly while simultaneously keeping them in check. As the narrative progressed, the constant theme we were shown was Kanan's blunders followed by Rock's remedies. Kanan and D-Wiz erratically killed Buck 20, leading to Rock sparing her son's life by taking his friends. Kanan exposed the stash house to invasion through Davina, which Rock converted into the high-rise headquarters, which will undoubtedly be her main hub in Season 2. And in his greatest act of youthful destruction, Kanan cooked up a bad batch of crack that led to multiple deaths and police investigation. Howard's threats towards Rock stemmed from this blow by Kanan and nearly led to his death by the youngster's hands. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Kanan had made Raquel's hustler life difficult throughout the season, not just through his missteps, but simply by who he represented to Rock. Remember, way back in episode 1, Unique warned Rock that so long as Kanan was flesh of her flesh, every decision she made would be mired in weakness by default due to her maternal obligations to him. This context will help us to further understand Rock's insidious climax, even if we disagree, which anyone with half a heart most certainly would. This exchange with her arch-foe, coupled with the liability her son proved himself to be, led to her master plan, not only against Kanan, but everything that threatened her status and position as number 1, the Queen Bee, unopposed. Here's how it all goes down. Rock had 3 major forces opposing her reign: Unique, her enemy in the streets; Howard, her enemy in the law; and Kanan, her enemy bound by blood. Now you may wonder to yourself, Rudy, how could Rock's own son be categorized as an enemy? Well, in the words of Sam Jackson via Pulp Fiction, allow me to retort. You have to understand the mindset of someone like Rock to fully grasp how she views threats and friendlies. Rock isn't just your run-of-the-mill, square-living mother. Rock is a hustler, and not just any hustler, but the leader of a major crime family in transition. Thus, her thinking isn't bound by the moral constraints of emotionalism. She views the world in black and white, because in her line of work, that's all there is: black and white, fail or fly, life or death. Considering this perspective, anything that stands in the way of her ultimate goal, which she clearly outlined as winning, is a threat to her way of life. Under these terms, Kanan had morphed into an enemy, not of Rock personally, but of her plans professionally. As a result, she treated Kanan by the same rules she did her other threats, just more nuanced due to their blood ties. So he had to go, but not like Neek and Howard. The plan for Unique was prison, something that's currently in motion, yet up in the air due to the outcome of her second plan, Howard. Howard's fate was chosen to be death, as he was her biggest threat from a personal and business perspective. As for Kanan, the plan for him was exile. Pay close attention to how these things played out, because they're textbook options for when a hustler has had enough and is forced to rid themselves of their enemies. Death, jail, or exile, that's all there is to it. Kanan's fate was the latter, and Rock positioned these fates so that they all factored into one another. If Unique is framed for Howard's death, that's Rock killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And if Kanan was forced to be temporarily exiled and excommunicated under protective orders from his mom, then that would have been her third and final bird killed with the same stone. Rock's plan was to ultimately stand alone in a position of strength, untangled from any weaknesses that remained about. Understanding this would also lend credence to why she treated Symphony so poorly during the latter two episodes. His position in her life, though valued, was ultimately another emotional liability. He galvanized a part of her that had to remain dormant in order for her underworld reign to commence. Thus, having him escort Kanan out of town worked out much better than keeping him around for sexual pleasure and emotional abuse on her part. Because now that we know Rock in full, we understand that the only thing that gets her out of bed in the morning is power. Its gathering, its maintenance, and its protection. Anyone who caters to that interest in Rock is considered a friendly. This is why in my Burning Questions video, I posited whether or not her and Lulu would eventually have it out, because his removal from the game would be a major blow to that power. Lover or hater, this is what Rock is about. And of all the things one could call a person like this, dishonest isn't one of them. But what do you think? Was Rock right in how she executed her plan? Or will the seeds of dissension and treachery come back to bite her in the worst way? Be sure to drop me your thoughts in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.